There is fire on the mountain, not in the PDP, but in the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. They're not all also shielded from the trouble, internal trouble, and the ones that are coming from the outside. And this time around, everyone is on the run. Several states of the Federation in the APC, their primaries conducted, of course, big trouble. In Akwa Ibom tonight, that's what we'll focus on. For example, big trouble have erupted. The headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja, has confirmed that the All Progressives Congress APC primary, which produced Akanim Udofia as a governorship candidate, was not monitored by the commission's officials. The primary, which produced the former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, according to the commission, as the APC Senate candidate in the state, was also not monitored by INEC. Both primaries were held around midnight, according to report, on the 26th of May and June the 9th, respectively. It therefore means the APC may not have a governorship candidate in Akwa Ibom State for the 2023 general elections, and that Mr. Akpabio is not recognized by INEC as a candidate, as previously reported by a newspaper. Now, let's get talking. I'm being joined by a chieftain of the APC, a former spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Honorable Eseme Eyibo. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm glad to be here.
What is happening with your party in Akwa Ibom State? It does look like some of you in the party don't like what Mr. Mike Igini has said, but the party at the INEC at the national level has backed Mr. Igini for saying that Igini has said the truth. Your party is at the risk of not having a candidate in the governorship election.
I am coming here as a witness to the truth, and I shall say only the truth to enrich our democracy.
I always like people to speak the truth.
Okay?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. At this instance, what you are hearing is rather very spurious. There are two issues here. There is a Mike Igini as an individual and a Mike Igini as a resident electoral commissioner in Akwa Ibom. So what the garment he is wearing in this respect is a partisan garment that cannot represent, Independent National Electoral Commission. And I can tell you that Independent National Electoral Commission is a creation and creature of the law, and to that extent is law abiding. And what constitutes the commission, as a matter of fact, at that level is the chairman, the commissioners, the secretary, and all other persons. And so an individual at the level of the state, you don't expect a reporter of channels to stay in Port Harcourt to now begin to take decisions and go public on an issue bordering on channels without clearing or without such emanating from the management of Channels Television.
Let's speak in straight English, Mr. Eyibo.
It's as simple as
quick one. Yeah. Now, so yes. let's deal with the issue and decisively.
Yes.
You have an issue also. Your name is not on the...
Oh, my name is there.
Your name is there.
The name is published in all the INEC local government, the particulars of the details of the primaries.
Did you participate in the primary?
Of course I did. That's the foundation I want to lay for you here.
Did INEC monitor the primary in which you participated?
Now, this is what you need to know. The statutory 21 days notice required of the party, that is the APC now, sent the 21 days statutory notice to INEC. And it is not the responsibility of the political party to compel INEC to do its administrative responsibilities. That's one you must get clear. So the issue now is, was there any time the party issued a statutory notice to INEC?
Did you issue any statutory
notice? Of course. That's what I want to give to you now. This is a notice. This is a submission of the report. This is a notice from the party, to INEC, informing INEC. Yes? You have all of that.
I have all.
You have all of that.
I just wanted to identify which document so that
I have it. Yes. So, which was written to INEC, and the state chairman of the party, Stephen Dwekbo, wrote again, identifying venues, date, and the time for the conduct of various primaries. And of course, I am giving you those documents here in case you want to cross-check. You are free to cross-check. This is the notice of the reconduct
of the exercise.
Of the exercise.
Has it been reconducted?
Has
it been reconducted?
Yeah, reconduct. It was done. This official letter from the national chairman of the party. This is the venue for the reconduct, the notice.
So what's the grievance from your side?
Sorry?
What is the grievance from your side?
Okay. Now, what the resident electoral commissioner is trying to do, he is trying to claim that he went to the venue, Share Grace Arena. Share Grace Arena was never mentioned by the political party as the center for the conduct of the primaries. If you go through all these documents, neither the national chairman, Adamu Abdullahi, or Senator Emisire, the documents are here. The state chairman wrote formally to INEC, indicating where the conduct of the exercise shall take place. This is the official letter here, and it was received by INEC.
So what's the problem
now,
at the moment?
He now went to...
so there is a venue where the primary was
supposed to be conducted, and it was indeed conducted. It was indeed conducted.
And so another one was conducted elsewhere.
There couldn't have been a parallel one because there is only one political party.
That you did not recognize, that you did not...
No, the party. We are talking about the party now. The party now constituted a panel to conduct these primaries. And these venues were communicated to the panel by the national of APC. They went there. But Mike Igini now claims that he was at Share Grace Arena. Who took him to Share Grace Arena? Who told him that it would be taking place at Share Grace Arena? He only went there as a chairman of an unregistered political association. He couldn't have been to monitor the election of
the national body of INEC has said,
I want to
whatever. No. I'm telling you,
yeah.
And I mean, take whatever I
heard on
that. Whatever is official.
He said there's only one
on
INEC.
The ground.
He said
yes, there's only one INEC.
There is only one INEC to the extent that, quote me, that whatever is a decision the body takes, INEC takes, you know, that is the position of the Independent National Electoral Commission. And in this case, such positions are usually taken after the meeting of the commission, made up of the chairman, the commissioners, the secretary, and the entire the gamut of the administrative structure of INEC. And not a resident electoral commissioner in a state now deciding to act as a chairman, acting as a spokesperson, and now beginning to create the hallucinating effect on electoral psychology.
So you are not happy with what INEC in Akwa has done? That's your
what it's doing is unlawful, and that is why this letter was written by the secretary of the INEC.
You are not happy with what I mean. You can only describe it as unlawful because you guys are not happy.
Yes, I am only worried that he has chosen the path of arbitrariness. Because if it was not arbitrary, the one he claimed he monitored, why is INEC publishing in all the local governments the particulars of candidates? What is published is, of course, what was a product of these primaries. So not what he did.
What are you looking forward to achieve now?
What I'm looking forward to achieve is that there should be some level of corporate image communication. There must be a communication that reflects an image so that no one person will begin to arbitrarily act as an institution. There should be a difference between politics and governance. He is acting and wearing the garments, you know, of partisanship. Because, and that should not be...
You know, what I feel sometimes is when someone is doing a good job, some people are not happy.
No, it's not a good job.
Maybe Mike Igini is doing the right thing.
If he was doing...
And politicians are not happy.
No, that's not correct.
A lot of the times, politicians don't get upset.
That is not correct.
Because the right things are being done.
I am telling you here, Mike is my personal friend. I can tell you that. Mike Igini is my friend.
But he's doing his job.
No, the job he is doing is what is acting ultra-vires. What he's doing is acting ultra-vires. If he were not acting ultra-vires, the secretary of the commission would not send this letter informing him, in case he wasn't aware, that what he is doing is outside the ambits of the law.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping, what are you begging or pleading for tonight? Because if you come before the court,
it's a public opinion court. Yes. because one, by his action, he has not succeeded, but he has been able to put INEC in a light where an average reasonable person will believe that
This conversation is not about Mike Igini, it's about the process.
Yes.
But we hope to hear from Mr. Mike Igini tomorrow.
Very well.
Thank you so much,
very well.
Honorable Eseme,
kindly,
for coming.
very kindly. Thank you very well.
I
can also oblige you some documents so that when he comes, you know, you should be able to ask him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
By all means.
Yes, very well.
Thank you so much. And it's good to see you.
Kindly. It's
the
nice
grace,
to see you too.